Okay, I'm gonna try to. So I always figure it's never too late to breathe. It's never too late to fight back. It's never too late to start over. Did this work? No, it didn't work. So I got some really good food here. If you got chronic pain conditions, terminal illness, you get upset at the world, you yell, you scream, you cuss. Hey, look at this as like a reaction video when you see me cuss at the news or the politicians. I'm doing something wrong here. Fuck, how am I gonna set it? So I thought I was gonna do some stuff with my Wi-Fi network here. I guess I'm not gonna do. I got this Wi-Fi extender remote outlet thing that I'm gonna mess around with. So I've had it here for 3 months. No, see, I screwed up. How am I gonna fix this? It's not authenticating because I typed the wrong password. I know I did. Oh, and so last night when I ended the video in a shitty mood and I hit the last use of that, I'm thinking I'm gonna keep the next music that came on, the entire Menagerie of the Animals by I believe it's Camilo Saint-Saëns. Oh, I love that piece. But so I should have did when I was all pissed off, going fuck you, internet, and I shut it off. I shouldn't have. But yeah, let's just. I got some food here from the church. I got some links for you. I'm gonna put them up in random order. I know I got 3 links here for you. I want you to check out. That Smith Falls, somewhat a food hub. 76 Ford truck commercials.
You're listening to the new Classical FM.
Ginger snap cookies.
Beautiful music.
Heart shapes. Now look, there's a spiral that goes counterclockwise from the outside to the center. And these ones here got maple leaves too. So counterclockwise from the outside to the center is I got green. I got some things I'm gonna make stencils for. I don't know what I'm doing today. Oh, trucker protest convoy thing. Let's see this here. Control V, tab, 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 space bar. So that's if you look in the thing here, I'm using this app called Clipstack. That's how I do this so quick. Oh, hey, the lighting's good enough. You can actually see what I'm doing here. If I click here, I can't see it again. It comes up. This one. I'm going to do Control V, which is paste. Tab, tab, tab. Space bar. You can also use the number 5 button as long as your number lock is off. Maple leaf. It looks like watching water go down the drain in the northern hemisphere. Oh, check this out. I should have given these to the girl, but I didn't. Isn't that perfect? By the way, if you're going to reuse these over and over, save the lids. Don't give them back the lids, because this is what happens after a while. So you might as well just save the lids and give them back the glass bottle. I did the math. I'm pretty sure we're saving some plastic when we use this cap instead of a bag. I'm pretty sure. engulfed and fell over a little bit. Look at that. There's ground beef and pasta. Well, I got more here. That's not all I got. Cuts all over my hand. Is that cheese on here too? Wow, thank you, Ma. You got macaroni and rigatoni. And the, what's this one? No, this is rigatoni. What's this one? Did you put feta? Oh, there's some green, is that green pepper? You got a bunch of things in Don't worry, I'll put the news on soon. Let's chill for a bit before we listen to the bullshit, eh? I got no pigment. Hey, look at my face just disappeared.
Gosh, I remember when that recording came across our desk, big 3 CD set. It was a surprise from Deutsche Grammophon, and for Canadian, the Calgarian, Jan Leszewski, the pianist. Very, very exciting to be with the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields out of the UK. We heard Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 2 in B flat, the third movement.
So I'm going to do it with some of the bar
the complete concertos for that recording in Berlin. It's 3:20. You're with the Oasis here on the New Classical FM, and coming up, Quartetto Italiano with Mozart's String Quartet No. 22, and Hoagie Carmichael's Stardust performing, performed by the TSO, and for good reason, because we want to tell you what the TSO plans are over the next week or two with the return to live in-person concerts. Hard to believe, but that's where we are. Checking the midweek weather, it has been cold, but the sunshine has been lovely today in the city. It was great cross-country skiing weather north of the city earlier today. Very much enjoyed that. It's a mixed bag tonight, depending on where you are. In Toronto, any potential flurries ending this evening. Then partly cloudy, gusty southwest winds, the low -14, wind chill -25 overnight. Cobourg flurries at times heavy, ending overnight, and then mainly cloudy with a 40% chance, up to 2 centimeters falling. The low -15, wind chill around -24. And Collingwood, partly cloudy, slim chance of flurries this evening, then clear overnight, low -17. And again, that wind chill around -25. Cloudy with flurries tomorrow afternoon, and it will be warmer, -3. The high in Toronto, -5 outside the GTA. We're at -9 right now in the city, -13 the cold spot in Cobourg, and -7 in Collingwood. 3:21 and a first check on the commute with Alexis.
Unfortunately, we're looking at a few new problems on the eastbound 401. Heads up at Dixon Martin Grove, we do have a crash, and that's in the right lane. And also on the eastbound 401 in the collectors past Leslie, we have a stall in the right lane through this stretch as well. Westbound 401 collectors at the 409 has a crash that's blocking the left lane. And heads up in town, we have Driftwood closed south of Finch for an ongoing fire investigation. A message from Canadian Blood Services. There's an immediate need for blood. Over 1,500 open appointments in Toronto to fill this month. Book now at blood.ca. I'm Alexis Feiger with traffic on the new Classical FM.
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $11 million, just having a ticket feels a lot like that moment between and...
Even the no-frills bag is recovered.
So get that 649 feeling. Buy your ticket today to feel the anticipation that comes with a chance to win a jackpot of an estimated $11 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize.
Don't let bladder leaks stop you from jump-starting a fitness routine, even if that means exercising in the living room. Depend can help you stay dry and protected with smooth fabric that's unnoticeable under clothes. Sign up for your free trial of Depend products like FitFlex, Silhouette, or Real Fit, featuring ultra-soft fabrics that moves with you at www.depend.ca. Your trial kit will be delivered discreetly, directly to your door. Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
Picture this. Everything you want to sell gone in 2 weeks, and not a single garage sale. That's the beauty of using MaxSold. They convert all your home's contents into cash, whether you're downsizing,
Hey, you leave that microwave alone.
MaxSold will catalog everything. Antiques, jewelry, furniture, and auction it online for cash. Keep what matters and sell the rest in one easy step. Call MaxSold, 800-960-2244.
Can you tell I've eaten a lot of,
Yes, Michael. Mr. Jones
when somebody gives you a prepared meal and then you look at it, what's this? What's that? You mix it together in different ways, you get some crazy good taste combinations.
All the sizes and colors and clarities of artisan-created diamonds.
Yes, those are born in a plasma chamber inside a miniature sun. And we have every engagement ring that has ever been designed. And we can customize any design to make it one of a kind.
That's amazing.
Welcome to Spence Diamonds.
Woo! Spence Diamonds. Wow! Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
Feel the telltale signs of winter. The biting breeze. The palpable chill. The crunch of snow and ice underfoot. And the most unsettling feeling. That it'll be over way too soon. So tuck those snow pants into your snowshoes and bring on winter in a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive.
You can't tuck your pants into your snowshoes. That's not possible.
Enjoy uncommon value and our winter on bonus at your local Subaru dealer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is good. And see, the meat's to one side, the millet and barley, whatever, is to the other side. You can mix it if you want or not. You know, like some people don't eat meat. You know, I'll eat the barley, you eat the meat, whatever.
His first solo piano album in 20 years.
And you can mix it just the right ratio, a little bit of meat or a lot.
Underwater is available now via Decca Records.
Okay, put some in here.
The only station playing classical music while you work. You're listening to the new Classical FM.
No, I could use. I know you might not see the purpose of this video. I'm just sitting here eating and listening to music, right? I'm trying. Like, I'm very grateful for what the world gave me. Okay, I know I'm in a bitchy mood a lot of the time. I'm dealing with stupidity, ignorance, and pain a lot. You know. I just want you to see my life is actually pretty good. Life can be good, you know. I don't have any pepper, but I got salt. Okay. I'll buy some pepper later. Oh, look at these carrots. These are big carrots.
Mozart's String Quartet number 22, the Allegro Assai, performed by ensemble Quartetto Italiano. And just a quick programming note that it is the anniversary of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's birthday tomorrow. And so it will be a program just absolutely filled with beautiful music, Mozart music, from vocal to piano concertos to symphonies and so on. And it'll just be a wonderful day of storytelling and celebrating an iconic musician and composer, certainly for our daily repertoire here on the New Classical FM.
Is he a
My name is
musician or
Mark
just a
Whitmore,
composer?
3:30. Great to have you along. We've been spending this week looking at reopening plans once again for arts organizations around the GTA. And so the Toronto Symphony Orchestra is next. Our good friend Claudine with the TSO was just in touch. Here's what you can expect for this weekend and next month from the orchestra. Friday night, coming up very shortly at 8 p.m., what was supposed to be a big in-person live event will now be held online, and it is free for you to enjoy from your home. So certainly my intention is to watch this on Friday night. Maybe you'll do the same. Music director Gustavo Jimeno conducts Beethoven, and you need to register to watch before midnight tomorrow. So to register and watch that Friday night concert.
Why can't you just do a live stream on Twitch or something? If I can do this, why can't you?
/live stream.
That's the other reason I do these videos, to show you how easy it is to do.
TSO music director sticking around in the city for Jimeno and Schumann's Spring in person, 50%, February 2nd and 3rd and 5th, all 8 p.m. start times, which is absolutely fantastic. February 12th at 7:30 p.m., that's a new time, the TSO presenting its romantic Valentine's program. And then Canadian pianist Angela Hewitt returning to Toronto to perform with the TSO for 3 evenings of Mozart and Bach. So all concerts, of course, at Roy Thompson Hall. Tickets at TSO.ca. Let's listen. Here is the Toronto Symphony Orchestra with the music of Hoagie Carmichael.
I get this from Pelham Park. This is how good Pelham Park treats me and the neighborhood, okay? That's for real. You see blue bandana, you think, oh, they're gonna know? This is some peacemaking food, is what it is. Oh my God, that was such a lucky shot. That was such a lucky shot. come on. You gotta be fucking kidding me. These here I don't have much of a reuse for. Product ID 204 from EcoPack LLC. Made from 40% internally reclaimed material. Really? You spill that much on the floor? Actually, I might use that. Use that there.
This is the new Classical FM. Beautiful music for a crazy world.
And Putin's demands, and the latest is that the Americans, Anthony Blinken, who's the Secretary of State, was saying earlier today that the U.S. delivered its written response to Putin's demands, which to a lot of the punditry seemed like they were far-fetched, almost to the point where
we're excited and ready for the reopening. I really believe that community recreation centers are integral to public health. I want to make
Yes, to a certain extent. fucking hell did I just do? Do that.
Lovely Baroque Giuseppe Sammartini, his overture for strings in F major, and the number 1 Allegro Le Mufati in performance. Ahead of that, Johnny Cowell, the trumpeter, alongside the Toronto Symphony Orchestra, and the beautiful Stardust from Hoagie Carmichael, and that is from The Art of Johnny Cowell.
By nature and
there's always this mob mentality that goes behind it, whether it's a mob of people, right, or a mob of countries. They always create atrocities. Like mobs of people can bring them.
Well, how does that relate then to what's going on between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, between Russia and Ukraine, like I said, I mean, well, the other fellow that was speaking before, he seems to have a lot of knowledge about the whole thing.
He said Russia has a legitimate claim to Ukraine. You've got a lot of Ukrainian Canadians who believe otherwise. So this is why you've got.
No, I don't think Russia has a claim to Ukraine or Crimea or to any other country.
Why not? Well, the other guy was giving us a lesson in history. So can you tell me what your assumption is based on?
Well, my assumption is based on this country exists. I mean, however it got there, it exists. Canada exists. We're now at an information age where it can all understand everything around the world. We have the Library of Alexandria.
All right. You know what? You're straying here. I'm going to move on. I've got Sam waiting in Durham.
How is he straying?
To make when it comes to whether or not Canada has a strategic interest here, a vested interest in taking the side of Ukraine against Russia in any kind of a stand.
Well, since we didn't back up NATO the last 15 years, we really don't have much of a choice but to back Russia because we're fucked up because our fucking politicians are stupid and corrupt at the same time.
The United States, the UK have, the Baltics have, to a limited extent, as much as they've got the capacity to. Denmark, I think, is sending 4 planes. Sam, what do you say? What's your take?
Jesus Christ, what happened over here? How the fuck is everything you fuck with?
First and foremost, I pray for peace. I don't like to see anybody invaded or any war started.
Then you've missed the fucking point, sir.
When countries like the US and Britain, one of them goes 10,000 kilometers to invade Iraq, and the other one 5,000 kilometers plus to invade Iraq, to remove Saddam Hussein, whom they put there in the first place, how could they come and lecture others?
From street kid to president by assassinating the former president. He walked up to the car with the fucking AK back and anybody killed her.
What to do and what not to do. I don't think Canada should get involved. But again, I pray for the Ukrainians, I pray for peace, and I don't like to see any war happening.
All right, well, duly noted, Sam. The case with Iraq, for example, it was couched as being in the strategic interests of the West. Afghanistan, obviously, you had the Taliban and Osama bin Laden, so that war was supported by all parties in Western democracies' parliaments. So
not really.
But Iraq was not involved. But Iraq was not involved in 9/11. Not a single member. 16 Saudis were involved. And
I understand. I understand what.
I understand. Shut up.
Tried to sell this, to the United Nations and build a consensus. It wasn't. Not everybody went along, and Canada was one of the countries. Jean Chrétien at the time says we'll take a pass. This was because they thought that he had weapons of mass destruction. We all know in hindsight this was a canard, a dog that wouldn't hunt, but they went in anyway. Your point is well taken, Sam. So we
cannot say in a duck, you fucking retard.
We need to defend this, that, or the other because we've been shown to be hypocritical. I got your point. Ukraine, I guess, will stand alone, or the NATO.
I don't know what you did to my ship, but like you got it fucking locked up over the fucking every fucking radio connection. Like you're pretending that like you're gonna write me, oh, he's schizophrenic disease. He caught it at the age of 40. He just suddenly became schizophrenic disease. That's not how it works. My phone's been frozen for 20 fucking minutes for no reason.
Canada's the next country.
The next thing you're going to do is start dialing 911 over and over and over from the phone. There's no fucking SIM card, stupid. It won't even connect to a radio network.
Carry the arms across,
Look, you fucking reset the time ever. You fucked it right up. The fuck out of here, stupid.
It's a joke. It's a total joke.
All right, duly noted. I'm going to talk about that truckers' protest, if you will, and how this is morphing into
the protest, if you will. They won't use the term rally or convoy, which is what it is. Jesus, what is? I'm not adding a new network. You're trying so hard. You're trying so hard. Whose network are you adding, stupid? The fuck is wrong with you? Well, I'm smart because I'm going to get paid. The fuck you'll last about 2 weeks at the most. They won't keep you for more than 10 business days, you moron. How do I know that? They've been doing this to me 25 years. You've been working less than 10 days. Jesus Christ. My phone is so locked up I can't do shit.
On the 401 eastbound at Dixon Martin Grove, there's a crash blocking the right lane. And new problems, 401 eastbound express at Weston Road, a crash there also blocking the right lane. The eastbound...
The smartest way to hire. And right.
Moins 20 pour la péninsule du Niagara. Le sud et de la province. Donc, de forts refroidissements éoliens et des conditions parfois périlleuses pour ce soir et cette nuit dans le centre, le sud et le sud-ouest de la province.
Vous avez des suggestions? Écrivez-nous à mosaïque@radiocanada.ca.
On va maintenant aller rejoindre mon collègue Ramin Pezeshki et parler sport. Et d'ailleurs, on va parler des internationaux d'Australie et de Félix Auger-Aliassime qui, après avoir mené 2 manches à 0, il a finalement perdu contre le Russe Daniil Medvedev en quart de finale des internationaux d'Australie à Melbourne plus tôt ce matin, Ramin.
En effet, après avoir repoussé et surtout une balle de match en 4e manche, Medvedev a effectué une incroyable remontée, il faut le souligner quand même, pour finalement imposer sa loi en 5 manches.
It's incredibly easy to see what you're doing. You're spoofing a network SSID. So you're trying to trick my phone and connect it to your thing, and as soon as it even attempts to, it locks. It just locks up. And the next thing you're going to do is start dialing 911 over and over. Like that's supposed to bother you. We've been watching this phone do this for 6 years. 6 years we've been watching this phone do this. You're not smart. You're retarded. You're using kiddie porn software to fucking attack us, thinking that nothing bad's going to happen to you.
Le match avait très bien commencé, contrairement pour Shapovalov, pour Félix Auger-Aliassime, parce qu'il a rapidement enregistré un prix.
All of a sudden, after I belittle you for being a fucking
avant ce qu'il a su préserver pour s'installer dans le fond du
all of a sudden it starts working perfectly. We all know that's how computers work. You belittle them emotionally and then they stop fucking up and start working again.
Félix Auger-Aliassime aurait pu gagner, mais son adversaire a sauvé une balle de match dans la 4e manche.
Effectivement, il lui a manqué seulement un seul point.
Donc, il était à une connected. Thank you.
Cette rencontre de presque 5 heures, on était à 4 jeux à 5 en faveur d'Auger-Aliassime dans la 4e manche, alors qu'il menait 2 manches à 1. Donc, c'était chose faite. Avec un peu plus d'expérience, il aurait pu conclure le match. Et à l'issue de la rencontre, Auger-Aliassime avec une pointe.
Jeez, you're fucking pathetic. You don't even have self-preservation in mind.
Dans le match, il a dit il m'a manqué un point. Il a lâché sans rire. Et il a souligné que ça se jouait à vraiment pas grand-chose, surtout quand il menait 2-7 manches à 0. Et à la fin, il fallait absolument qu'il capitalise grâce à cette avance. Et il a dit qu'il allait apprendre à capitaliser sur ses opportunités et que c'était tout et qu'il fallait attendre. Donc, il avait joué quand même à un très très haut niveau. Mais une fois cette occasion manquée, Medvedev a enchaîné 3 jeux de suite, dont un premier bris depuis la manche initiale pour repousser le duel à sa limite. Et il faut dire aussi que dans la manche décisive, Auger-Aliassime a laissé filer une balle de bris avant que son rival ne vienne briser son service pour renverser la vapeur. Dès lors, on a senti que Medvedev avait vraiment l'ascendant en dépit d'un taux de première balle en jeu assez ordinaire à 60% contre 69% pour Auger Aliassime, alors qu'on connaît Medvedev pour son jeu de service. Donc Auger Aliassime a mieux fait de ce point de vue-là. Et donc il a eu aussi l'avantage au chapitre des aces, 18-15 pour Auger Aliassime, et malgré une nouvelle occasion de revenir à 5-5 dans la dernière manche, c'est Medvedev qui a complété de façon spectaculaire.
De son côté, Medvedev paraissait soulagé de s'en être tiré de la sorte au terme d'un match épique où il a lentement retrouvé ses moyens.
Tout à fait. Il faut se rappeler que finaliste l'an passé, le Russe est devenu le favori du tournoi après l'expulsion de Novak Djokovic, avant le début de la compétition. Et lors de la conférence de presse, il a reconnu la performance du jeu.
Those murders from 2017. Kevin, always a pleasure to have you on the Oprah Show. Good afternoon.
Thanks for having me on.
So, tell me about the latest. I mean, where the Toronto police were investigating Barry Sherman's estate plans and who would receive his future in the event of his death. That's kind of interesting, but only surfacing now. They seem like they were keeping this under close wraps. Tell me about this aspect of the case.
Yeah, happy to. You mentioned freedom of information requests. These are actually not that. This is a process I've gone through over the last 4 years to get court documents related to search warrants unsealed by the police. And it's over the last 12 months, more and more has been unsealed. Police argue to keep things sealed because they say it would hurt their investigation. We argue on the other side of it. But what we've learned now is that for almost the entire investigation, the police have been looking at a number of aspects. But one of the aspects is the estate of Barry and Honey Sherman. Honey, nobody ever found a will of hers, although I've heard that she was telling people that she had a will. But Barry did have a will, and his gigantic multi-billion-dollar fortune was left to Honey if he predeceased her, and then if they both died, to the 4 children. The police have put that in the search warrants requests in a number of places. This has been very interesting because while they have released what they've got in the search warrants, they actually won't tell me where it is in the 2,000 pages, how often it appears, and for what reason. So, as is often the case with these high-profile murder investigations, I'm trying to piece it together by not having all of the puzzle. I hope to have all the puzzle at some point.
Well, it's interesting because the Supreme Court ruled that this could be information that you could access, did they not? I mean, they tried to rag the Parker stall on you. I guess the investigators did, saying it was embedded in their investigation. But you gained access to it, I guess, by court order, did you not?
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because the information that was unsealed last week is actually the same information we had unsealed by the Supreme Court in this civil case last year. So it's a little bit of inside baseball here, but over the last 3 years, I've known there was information about the estate in the police documents. The police have said, yes, it's there. We can't talk about it because the Supreme Court ruling. Supreme Court ruling was because the Shermans didn't want their financial information out. Once that was lifted, I went to the police and I said, hey, the Supreme Court has lifted it. Can you now release the information you got, which is the same information? And then they said, well, we're going to have to think about it. So what they've said now is that, yes, we can tell you that we've looked at it, but we just can't tell you why we've looked at it. Now, your listeners, we can all draw various lines there. When looking at an estate, you're either looking at who gets the money or perhaps who doesn't get the money. And I don't know which one they're the most interested in.
Yeah, it's interesting because the adage, follow the money, oftentimes will lead to greater revelations. Again, Kevin Donovan from the Star on the latest with the
remember generic drugs.
Sherman murders. The idea that the police would really want to keep this stuff under wraps, and you're having to find out through the information to obtain and search warrants and production orders and things like that. Is that kind of pro forma stuff with police, or is this a particularly unusual case where they're doing that?
Well, it is normal. I find that police, all institutions, do like to keep things secret. The police Their only argument is that to release information would hurt the investigation. For example, today in the Toronto Star, we published photos that are now being released of Barry's office. It's a cluttered office. It shows a tireless worker who's a visual organizer. It doesn't have anything to do with the case. The police have been saying for 4 years we can't release this because it would hurt our investigation. Now it's being released. It doesn't affect the investigation. Police, the knee-jerk reaction is we don't want the public to know anything because we're afraid that will hurt a prosecution down the line. What we're saying, and we have a lot of jurisprudence on our side from the highest court in the land, this stuff can be released. One can understand that there may be some specific pieces of information they can't release, but in 2,000 pages, what I've been finding is a lot of the stuff they've been keeping secret is not going to hurt their investigation all if it gets out. So I'll be back in court in a few more weeks, and we can expect more unsealings then, I think.
A lot of us were really, I guess, perplexed by the idea that it took almost 4 years to release this video of the person of interest, the one with the sort of pronounced gait, walking past.
Que malheureusement, on voit qu'il y a beaucoup d'automédication des patients.
Yeah, so the next steps are outlining our other recommendations, like I said, the curriculum, the mental health training, the school staff.
Maybe I'll try to pull up the World Today, the Beijing Hour, or the World Today off CRI or CGTN. Okay, I think I got my Wi-Fi thing figured out. Okay, Bluetooth, all that. I'm not sure if this is strictly one bud. I think so, but look at it. I don't remember what it weighs. Let's say it's between 3 and 4. I really don't remember. 3 and 4 grams, probably. I wasn't paying attention. It's crumbly bits. Let's just dump those in there. Oh my god. Staring at my fan. I got this Wi-Fi thing I want to figure out. There's an air filter thing I want to figure out. I should write all this shit down. So I got to plug this Wi-Fi thing into an outlet and then plug something into it, like this lamp or one of these fans or something. And then we can figure out, it's like a remote outlet you could turn on and off, or you could make it into a timer, that like a 24-hour timer. Amongst other things. I figure I'm going to plug my router into it.
Music, arts, culture. This is the New Classical FM.
Is it a mandolin? This will become a screen for my pipe. Oh, look how much better the fucking clarity is with the fucking brightness. Nice, nice. I cleaned up the connections on this phone jack. I oiled all my fans, or the ones that seem to need it. Just whooshing sound, and the internet is so smooth now. Not any faster, but it's smoother. And I forgot I had a loop of wire that I was going to use that I never used to connect to something else. And it basically, if you have a long piece of wire that's the termination of the fucking thing, it'll cause echoes. I thought I had so much important to discuss today. I guess I don't. We should check out that Business Development Canada loan, see what they can do for us. would also like to find some sort of electric snowblower. Something that runs on a deep cycle battery or something. Only because I can't technically store internal combustion engines, vehicles, things like that. Whatever, however it's written, I'm not supposed to store in here. Some rattling on there. I think that's the speaker housing. I felt so good today. So exercising in cold air will give you, there'll be more oxygen than if it was warm air. And the movement keeps the blood pumping. And the mitochondria don't burn off as much of your energy providing heat. I feel very good today.
Without Time Signature and Eric Sassee's Gnossien here on the Oasis performed on guitar. And we're about to catch you up on headlines after the news. Tchaikovsky and hosts planets, and we'll visit Saturn this evening, the bringer of old age. But it is time for a news update, and I'll turn it over to Bob Compson.
Mark, flurries at times heavy for Toronto as well as Cobourg this evening. 2 to 4 centimeters possible for Toronto. Cobourg could get an extra centimeter, so upwards of 5, let's say. Clearing and Collingwood, though, for this evening. And currently it's -9, and with the winds feels more like -13. In the news, Bank of Canada keeping its key interest rate target on hold at 0.25%, but the governor, Tiff Macklem, warns it's not going to be staying there much longer.
First, the emergency monetary measures needed to support the economy through the pandemic are no longer required, and they have ended. Second, interest rates need to increase to control inflation. Canadians should expect a rising path for interest rates. And third, while reopening an economy after repeated waves of COVID is complicated, Canadians can be confident that the Bank of Canada will control inflation.
Macklem adds rates will need to rise to bring inflation back to its target of 2%, but warns.
Get yourself a brick. Click, clack, bang. I'm doing my. I'm about making money, nigga, fuck friends. I ain't messing with these suckers, I'm like, fuck them. I never talk, never speak, never trust them. Me and my Toolie walk together, finna done them. Okay, I run them. My Toolie always down. I'm from Toronto where the hearts and the money brown. You fucking up if you selling them outside of town. My city with me and we finna get it by the pound. I got gold by the gallon when I'm selling shit. These foolies hating, but my attitude is celibate. I misbehave it, I'm like, fuck it, bitch, I'm getting rich. If you broke, just get a bag and get yourself a brick. Click, clack, bang, I'm doing my thing. It's just me and my Toolie making your bitch sing. Click, clack, bang, I'm doing my thing. It's just me and my Toolie making your bitch sing. It's just me and my Toolie. 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 If If you ain't moving right, you gon' get left. I ain't tolerating hoes, they gon' get checked. But Thule make sure the youngin' never get stressed. I'm a queen, bitch, ain't nothing to get next. They ain't capable of doing what the queen do. These sluts living fake lives while I've been true. But you gon' lie till you die is what the thing do. All my family is G's, this the real crew. I've been a thug since birth, I done been through worse. So if I ain't the best, nigga, fuck your turf. Got the Thule in my pants, Thule in my shirt. Now if you with this shit, someone gon' get hurt. Click, clack, bang, I'm doing my thing. It's just me and my Thule making your bitch sing. Click, clack, bang, I'm doing my thing. It's just me and my Thule making your bitch sing. It's just me and my Thule. 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 Me and my Thule, bitch, it's just me and my Thule. Me and my Thule, bitch, it's just me and my Thule. Fuck you, bitch. My Thule.
Minus 12 in Coburg. I'm Bob Komsic for Christine Ross. News next at 5 on the new Classical FM.
Is it really 4 o'clock? Wow. I might make it to that mail.
Yeah, we real for the street niggas, man. Voice.
The music of Tchaikovsky here on this Wednesday, 408, a Souvenir dans les chairs, and Vladimir Ashkenazy, the pianist, with the Gramophone Artist of the Year, Canadian James Ennis, performing on violin. It is the Oasis here on the New Classical FM. My name is Mark Wick.
Can you win a gramophone?
Your soundtrack here this afternoon. Great to have you along as we continue. We'll get back to the first record released by Quebec pianist Charles-Richard Amelin and violinist Andrew Wan, part of a Beethoven series from the duo. Traffic and weather update for you shortly. On this Friday at 8 p.m., what was supposed to be a live event in person will now be held online, and it is free, from the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Music director Gustavo Jimeno conducting Beethoven, and you need to register to watch this for free before midnight tomorrow. So once again, it's happening on Friday at 8, but you need to register before midnight tomorrow. TSO.ca/livestreams. Very exciting from the TSO. Here is the Toronto Symphony Orchestra with the music of Gustav Holst, The Planets, Saturn, and the Bringer of Old Age.
It says number 2 construction. Number 2 Construction Battalion. The USMP. See, no, I'm gonna put the word drain this way so we could spray it right. There's got to be a way to do that. I'm gonna make a few of these. Fit 5 of these this way. Fit 4. That's not gonna fit. What about a different box? What is this? It's a cookie box. I put it over here. I might have put it over here. Where the fuck did I put that? Just put the word drain. See if that works. Left to right. If it's 6 letters, this one only because that's an I. sand off all this paint off this stencil, all these little plastic pieces. Oh, I should have made a space here. Oh no. So I think I can make an arrow. I think I put an S and an arrow. Let's see, if I put a V and then an I think I can make an arrow. I would like to go to the dinner, and I think it's a good idea for me too, but I don't know. It depends on my body feel. To have food. Wasn't that busy up there today? Very few people. If there's lots of meals and very few people come, then food might get wasted, right? But
Music director at the time, now conductor emeritus, Peter Unjian and his Toronto Symphony Orchestra. And going back to the recording, Gustav Holst, The Planets. He became very famous for conducting that work, and Holst, The Planet Saturn, the bringer of old age, here on the Oasis, the new Classical FM 420. It's Mark Wigmore here in just moments. Pianist Igor Levit, the pianist in the news a lot these days, including a fresh nomination for a music magazine award. So we'll get to what he's been nominated for. We'll have a look at midweek weather into Friday. Right now, things keep changing. A winter weather travel advisory is now in effect for Toronto late this afternoon and early this evening. A heavy band of lake effect snow is expected to move inland this afternoon before weakening this evening. So tonight in Toronto, flurries at times heavy, ending sometime in the evening, then partly cloudy, slim chance of flurries up to 4 centimeters falling, gusty southwest winds, the low -14, wind chill -25. Overnight, Coburg also heavy flurries and windy, up to 5 centimeters falling, wind chill -23, but it will warm up to around -6 by morning. Collingwood, a little less dramatic, partly cloudy, then clearing early tonight, low -16, wind chill -25 overnight. So still quite chilly, but really we're seeing the snow happening in Toronto and Coburg. Cloudy with flurries tomorrow afternoon, another 2 to 4 centimeters falling, and windy again, warmer as well, around -4, -5 our high. Friday we'll see sunny skies, but cold again. -9 in Toronto, -12 in Coburg, -8 in Collingwood. Here's Alexis.
Good news if you're traveling on the eastbound 401. We had problems on the collector ramp to Mavis. We had a stall in the right lane, and that's been cleared. Now, further eastbound 401, we have problems in the Express at Weston. A crash is in the right lane. It is causing some delays. And in town, we still have problems southbound Royal York, and that's blocked just south of Dundas for a crash. Emergency crews are on scene. Good Food now offers free grocery delivery in as little as 30 minutes. Plus, get $30 off your first 2 orders. That's $60 in groceries. Order at makegoodfood.ca. I'm Alexis Feiger with traffic on the new Classical FM.
24/7 safety and independence is within reach for you and your loved ones with the Connect Care Medical Alert button. Learn more at connectcaremedicalalert.ca. Live life on your terms, independent and safe with Red Dot Personal Alert Solutions. At home or on the go, Red Dot provides peace of mind, knowing that help is only seconds away if you ever need it. Developed by seniors and proudly partnered with Gruyere Continuing Care, Red Dot's two-way voice communication system has you covered 24/7. No contracts,
this might be the least ambiguous. Maybe I got it right.
Required. Learn more and get connected at reddotalerts.ca.
Callum?
Yes, Michael.
Mr. Jones wants to hear about your selection.
Michael, Spence has all the sizes and colors and clarities of Earth diamonds from Diamond Mines.
And all the sizes and colors and clarities of artisan-created diamonds?
Yes. Those are born in a plasma chamber inside a miniature sun. And we have every engagement ring that has ever been designed. And we can customize any design.
Every design ever.
That's a pretty bold point. Welcome to Spence Diamonds.
Woo! Spence Diamonds. Wow! Located in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
Do you see retirement as an immense opportunity? It's a question that almost half of our current workforce will soon have to answer. I'm Dr. Ginger Grant of Humber College with a custom program built for you. Our virtual workshop, Retirement Revised, has been created to help Zoomers revision retirement, consider a new beginning, even a new career. Once your life's bucket list is dry, what will you fill it with? Go to humber.ca/Zoomer to sign up for this inaugural workshop before March 1st.
Picture this. Everything you want to sell gone in 2 weeks, and not a single garage sale. That's the beauty of using
You're
Maxsold.
chipping right out the garage
They convert all your
now.
home's contents into cash, whether you're downsizing, relocating, or handling an estate. Maxsold will catalog everything. Antiques, jewelry, furniture, and auction it online for cash. Keep what matters and sell the rest in one easy step. Call Maxsold, 800-960-2244.
So that's going to be time consuming, but I can do that. That'll work.
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $11 million, just having a ticket feels a lot like that moment between and... So get that 649 feeling. Buy your ticket today to feel the anticipation that comes with a chance to win a jackpot of an estimated $11 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize.
This February, get your heart rate up and let it soar with One TV, the exercise and entertainment channel, starting with Shaolin Tai Chi, a gentle practice that will improve physical and mental strength. And in honor of Cupid and all things Valentine, unwind with romantic films like Dear John, the story of a soldier who falls for a college student while home on leave. Two hearts beat as one this February on One TV, the exercise and entertainment channel. Find the full schedule at onetv.ca.
Oh, they seem to have turned the ventilation on fully in this building again, and it's beautiful in here again. It's how it's supposed to be. Fresh air for everybody.
This is the new classical
15 cubic feet per minute minimum, 18% oxygen, 18 degrees Celsius. I almost forgot to mention that. So if I'm not coughing as much, that's why. That should have killed you. So it is. And this is all I'm doing for the moment, and then I'm done. I'm done. So I got all these cardboard boxes here. All right, I think I would like to check out what CRI is saying about Ukraine and stuff and whatever else they might come up with. And China got some interesting ideas on how to manage civil society. I like the time bank. The time bank. You volunteer a certain number of hours at the nursing home, and then when you get old, those hours count as your payment for your nursing care. No money change hands. Then when you're old, somebody else is going to volunteer that. So it makes sense to me. Enough here to go on the second drawing already, huh? All right, let's see if I.
Quebec performers Andrew Wan, the violinist with the Montreal Symphony Orchestra, concertmaster with the ensemble as well, Jean-Richard Amelin, the virtuoso pianist, and those two got an early jump on Beethoven 250 celebrations a couple of years ago when they released Beethoven Violin Sonatas number 6, 7, and 8, and we just heard number 8 in G, Opus 30, and the third movement, Allegro Vivace. With the Oasis
What's that mean?
429. My name is Mark Wigmore. It is award season all over the world.
It's on my coffee cup.
Niagara, let's get you in here on the Open Show. Good afternoon.
Hey, John, yeah, I agree with the last caller. This convoy, it's a peaceful protest. I am part of groups where you can listen in to the peaceful, you can listen in and hear all the truck drivers out there speaking to one another. And it's not just the drivers who are speaking. You have families, you have kids on there talking. You have people from all around the world, Scotland, Nigeria.
That's what I need is kids telling me that I need to get a vaccine to protect people that are dying so you can be safe without having to wear a mask, because only muzzies wear masks. That's why it's called a muzzy, because it muzzles you.
And, you know, if you
swear to God, that's what I'm hearing out there.
It's only about, we're against the mandates here. And
well, is that what it is, strictly speaking, against the mandates? That's my question, though, is has it morphed into something even more significant than mandates alone, a protest against mandates?
You know what it's morphed into? Uniting this country together and actually bringing other parts of the world together with us. And it's amazing to hear these people speak on how we're doing things. I just can't understand, why they have to pin it as a negative thing. They've even come out and said, oh, GoFundMe is not releasing the funds because it's a terrorist organization and all. No, the truck drivers are getting the gas money. They're getting fed. It's not a thing,
All right, that's something to be worked out logistically with the GoFundMe people, and they say, the reason they have it freeze is just so they would know how it's going to be apportioned, and they're going to give it to, I guess, some kind of a clearing house to cover expenses. The point I guess I was making had to do with whether or not this had to do with vaccine mandates alone, or if there's a larger message, a subtext to all of this. I wanted to grab one more real fast, and this is Jim in Richmond Hill. Let's get you in here, and then Swifty and Potsy are going to weigh in. What do you say, Jim?
John, I'll keep this as quick as possible. I'm not anti-vax. I've had my vaccinations and I've had my booster shot, and I'm for the truckers. And there's a lot of people that are in my situation that I've talked to that just do not like the whole mask thing, where you've got a mandate for masks that don't work and the government knows they don't work and we still got to wear them. And I mean,
who said they don't work? It's the only thing so far working.
With these guys, when your guest said it's only 10% of the population, he's dead wrong. That's like saying Trump will never get elected. All he does is yell, lock her up. Okay, go with it.
Right, if there's something more afoot, that's what I'm trying to arrive at here. Tell me what it is, and I'd like to know. And so you're saying there is. I got you. Hey, Jim, stay well. We'll come back in a moment. We'll talk to Swifty and Potsy. I'll bring that up as one of the issues that we'll address. There are many others as well in moments here on the Open Show, 640 Toronto.
Forget about checking in 3, 4, or 5 times a day.
Ooh, that was a low blow.
Fort Heavy Gerard up to York Mills. And
virus. More than 600 of them are in ICU testing positive for COVID-19. As the CDC's Lorenda Redekop tells us, patients, doctors, and the opposition are among those pleading with the government to restart elective surgeries.
Sabrina Worrell needs a procedure that's simple but would be life-changing.
This is ridiculous. This is a 5-minute surgery. This could have been done months ago.
A year ago, she had a quadruple bypass. The incision opened a month later, and the wound never properly closed. Her canceled surgery was supposed to happen last week. She says she's in pain.
Basically, every time I move, I can feel the wires because they keep ripping my skin.
Earlier this month, the government stopped all non-urgent surgeries to protect the healthcare system as hospitals are struggling with low staffing. This week, a group of surgeons wrote an open letter to the Premier, urging him to restart those procedures. Reopening for indoor dining and gyms starts next week. NDP leader Andrea Horvath.
But you also need to put a plan together to deal with the backlog surgeries. You can't just sweep these people under the carpet and pretend that they don't exist.
The health minister said last week that the province doesn't expect ICU admissions to peak until mid-February and that surgeries can restart once those numbers go down. Lorenda Redicomp, CBC News, Toronto.
An independent accounting firm is looking into Pride Toronto's use of federal grant money following allegations that the organization misrepresented how the money would be spent. Pride Toronto says it has hired KPMG to conduct a grant compliance review. It will cover 3 grants the organization received from the federal government, totaling $1.85 million. Toronto historian Tom Hooper released an investigative report into the grants that he claims highlights problems with the grant applications. The federal government is getting ready to help with the funding of electric vehicle charging stations in the Greater Toronto Area. It has partnered with the Atmospheric Fund, which will be providing financial support for municipalities looking to ramp up their charging infrastructure. The CBC's Farah Morali has that story.
The new money will support the installation of up to 300 charging stations. Ian Klesmer with the Atmospheric Fund says there are still barriers for many people living in Toronto to make the transition to electric vehicles. The big one, lack of easy access to a charging station. Klesmer says 46% of Ontario residents don't live in a single-family home and don't have garages or driveways to put an electric charger.
This program is really designed to address that pinch point and make chargers more widely available and accessible so that people can more easily get behind the wheel of an electric vehicle.
The announcement comes 2 years into the launch of the City of Toronto's electric vehicle strategy. A part of that includes ramping up infrastructure. U of T professor Olivier Trescas applauds the city's initiative so far. He believes the best way to facilitate the transition to electric is for fast charging stations to be available in the same way gas stations are.
I think the city should do more to support fast charging stations at strategic locations in downtown areas.
The city says it is still on track to meet its target of having all vehicles being zero emission by 2050.
That's
Farah Morali, CBC News, Toronto.
And the time right now is 4:36. Welcome to Hear It Now on CBC Radio 1. Back over to Khalil for a check on traffic.
And Trevor, on the eastbound 401, so through Kipling, we have a right lane blocked off with a crash. Again, at Weston in the Express, a right lane blocked off. And that's causing volume right now as you go from the 427 to Weston.
A minority of supporters have talked about the protest like a war or a battle, and some want to see some sort of action like the storming of Capitol Hill in Washington a year ago. The lead organizer is trying to distance the event from this talk, telling supporters to report it to police if there's aggressive behavior or threats of violence. Cormac makes swing in Parliament Hill. City News on 437. City News Weather Alert. A winter weather travel advisory now in effect for areas around Lake Ontario. Our meteorologist Natasha Ramsay joins us live with the latest on this system that is sparked the advisory. Natasha.
That's right. So 17 centimeters fell in Grimsby over the last couple of hours. Then the lake effect snow band kind of rolled back out over the lake. But now that the winds are out of the southwest, it is pushing that snow band into the GTA. So that winter weather travel advisory in effect for the South GTA from Mississauga all the way to Oshawa. Now, right now, you can see that visibility has gone down through the downtown core. And this is going to be a quick burst of 5 centimeters. Some areas could even see up to 8 centimeters. It's light, it's fluffy, it's blowing around, and it's reducing that visibility. And the timing is not great, of course, because it's the afternoon commute. As we head past about 8 p.m., it'll mainly be South Scarborough and Southern Durham into it. And then after about 10, 11 p.m., we'll be done with it here for the rest of the night. From the City News 680 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Natasha Ramsay. Hi.
City News Time 4:38. NDP leader Andrea Horvath says it was a shock to see so many people. Premier Doug Ford announced a reopening that did mention a word about restarting surgeries. She's calling on the province to repeal the directive that's got surgeries on pause while businesses get set to reopen on Monday. City's Phil Martino joins us live with that. Phil.
So, Jenna, Dr. Adam Casson, the president of the Ontario Medical Association, says the pandemic has created a backlog of nearly 20 million patient care services, and that backlog will take years to fix.
Right now, the wait list for a knee operation, so for a total replacement of the knee, is
it's about 14 months for hip replacement. It's 20 some odd months for cataract surgeries. And so this backlog is now stretched into years, and it's going to require not only our immediate but our continued attention as we think about the future.
Opposition leader Andrew Horvath is calling on the government to restart scheduled surgeries and to give the hospitals the staff and the money they need to do them.
There's a couple of things that we think would be helpful in that regard. A centralized referral system, so that, for example, no matter where you are, your acuity level will put you at the top of the list, and the surgeon that's available at the top of the list would match with you, and then you would get your procedure done.
Horvath also suggests extending operating room hours. Phil Martino, City News.
Gas prices next.
This is City News 680.
One event comes just once a year and can change how you see the world. The answer? When your vision benefits renew. And now that they have, it's time to visit your neighborhood Pearl Vision, where you'll get 40% off lenses for adults and free lenses for kids with free purchase. Remember, they direct bill most insurance plans, so arrange your family's eye exams at pearlvision.ca. Valid prescription required. Valid at participating locations. Restrictions apply. Taxes extra. See store for details. Ends 4/30/2022. Exams available at the Independent Doctors of Optometry at or next to Pearl Vision.
Now the City News gas price update. and Pro predicting the price will rise a cent at midnight to just under $1.49 a liter. Traffic and weather together next.
It's an all-new year. Perfect time for an all-new 2022 Civic, Canada's best-selling car for 24 years in a row. Not surprising with its reimagined...
Most stolen, too.
There have been stunned silence.
Season. We started with Igor Levit, the pianist, with his On DSCH and Shostakovich 24 Preludes and Fugues, number 7 in A major. Just wonderful. Here on the Oasis on a Wednesday, we've got an update for you, traffic, weather, and business, and then Canada's Sroll Irving Glick, his 6 Preludes, and the number 1 album on the new Classical FM Top 20 chart. We'll play that for you as well. A winter weather travel advisory now in effect for Toronto. Late this afternoon and early into the evening, we've got this band of lake effect snow going through the region. And tonight in Toronto, flurries at times heavy, ending in the evening, then partly cloudy, slim chance of flurries. We could see 4 centimeters in the city. Gusty southwest winds as well, the low -14, wind chill around -25. Cobourg, also heavy flurries and windy, up to 5 centimeters falling tonight, wind chill -23 overnight, but warming up significantly by morning. Collingwood, not as dramatic, partly cloudy, then clearing early tonight, low -16, wind chill -25 overnight. Tomorrow, cloudy with flurries. We'll start cloudy and then see flurries in the afternoon in Toronto and Cobourg, up to 4 centimeters falling. Not quite as much in Collingwood. Warmer, too, hovering around -5, 4, 3. And Friday, we'll see sunny skies, but cold again. -9 in Toronto, -12 in Cobourg, -8 in Collingwood. And check on the commute.
We are still looking at problems on the northbound Don Valley Parkway. The off-ramp to the eastbound 401 Express, that's just dealing with a stall in the right lane. Delays, unfortunately, are pretty heavy from Dundas. Now, we just had issues clear on the eastbound 401. In the Express at Weston, we had a crash in the right lane. That has just cleared away, so it is still slow, but hopefully the volume will ease soon. In town, heads up southbound Royal York is blocked south of Dundas for a crash, and Steeles is closed both ways, from Weston to Old Weston for a crash as well. A message from Canadian Blood Services. There's an immediate need for blood. Over 1,500 open appointments in Toronto to fill this month. Book now at blood.ca. I'm Alexis Feiger with traffic on the new Classical FM.
4:42 midweek, and a look at your business headlines with Anthony Ocolia, Money Talk Markets editor with TD Wealth. And Anthony, steady as she goes despite record inflation. The Bank of Canada won't change anything until March, but change is definitely coming.
Absolutely. The Bank of Canada came out with its rate decision today, and it defied expectations. It held steady on rates. Markets actually had priced in a rate hike for today. Going forward, as you mentioned, inflation is going to continue to be a main focus for the Bank of Canada, with inflation roughly about 5%. That's a 30-year high. We spoke with TD Economics, and they see one rate hike in March and 3 more in 2022, and that should lift government bonds and mortgage rates as well. Turning to the Fed, they also held steady on rates. That was pretty much expected, but they did lay the groundwork for a March rate hike, and TD Economics also expects a rate hike in March and then every 3 months for the rest of the year. U.S. stocks, we did see U.S. markets give up gains, particularly during Fed Chair Powell's press conference. The Dow was up over 500 points at one point. But Powell's characterization of inflation was much different than in the previous tone, where he kind of talked about inflation being transitory. In addition to that, the tone of his speech was a bit more hawkish than perhaps the market wanted, and so we did see a reversal of gains and markets closing down lower at the end of the day.
Might be just facing reality, Tony, right?
That's right.
I think so. IBM, Microsoft, some of the big companies that we saw earnings reports from earlier this week. Q4 results in today for Tesla.
Tesla came out. They did top Q4 profits. Their earnings came in at $2.54 on an adjusted basis. That was above the expectation of $2.36. Revenue also came in higher than expected. But we did see the price of the stock slump in after hours, and that might be because Tesla has raised the fact that even though it's been navigating the supply chain issues pretty well last year, they do see that the supply chain issues, particularly for this, some semiconductors and all the inputs that go into the electric vehicles, will be an issue in 2022. And so that was certainly a factor in the stock price trading lower in after hours market. In addition to that, analysts will be looking for more information on the cost of its new factories in Texas and Berlin at the analyst call at 5:30. So still some questions to be answered, but overall a pretty good beat for Tesla.
Tony, I just caught this very eye-opening new Boeing documentary at the Sundance Film Festival over the weekend. Really a damning portrait of the company, of the brass there, some of the 737 MAX decisions over the last decade. The news really not any better today.
That's exactly right. So Boeing announced that for the third straight year, it posted a loss. And in the past quarter, it took a $4 billion hit related to the problems it had with its 787 Dreamliner. It's going to have to pay about $3.5 billion to compensate its customers because the delivery of these 787 is going to be delayed. And so they reported a loss of $7.69 a share. That's versus an expected loss of 42 cents a share. So a really big hit there. Revenue also came in below expectations. And again, this is a company that's still weighed down by the problems with the grounding of its 737 MAX airplanes. The stock was down nearly 5% today.
Anthony Akolia with TD Wealth. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
4:46 here on a Wednesday. Your look at business headlines on the new Classical FM.
Did you know that Natural Calm Ionic Magnesium is the #1 selling product out of 7,500 natural health products in the U.S.? Natural Calm helps with sleep.
On major routes as that truck convoy heading for Ottawa to protest vaccine mandates gets closer. Traffic delays anticipated tomorrow through the weekend on the QEW, the 400, 427, 403, and the 401. Coming up after sports.
The U.S. and NATO making no concessions to the Kremlin as the standoff continues between Russia and Ukraine.
The ball's in their court.
Hoping for a diplomatic way forward.
Here's Alex Fitzgerald.
Va tenter de se hisser pour la première fois en finale. Martino by Moderna. Feel the tell. Rings va tenter de se hisser pour la première fois en finale d'un tournoi de Grand Chelem.
Elles ne sont plus que 3 joueuses à pouvoir empêcher Ashley Barty de remporter son tournoi du Grand Chelem.
Effectivement, Madison Keys, 54e au monde, sera la première à tenter sa chance face à Ashley Barty, l'enfant du pays, l'Australienne, qui n'a pas encore gagné les internationaux d'Australie. Madison Keys, qui a 26 ans, a certainement la vigueur suffisante dans ses coups pour garder Barty au fond du cours, mais elle n'a pas la faveur des parieurs dans cette confrontation, puisque l'Australienne de 25 ans, qui est numéro 1 mondiale depuis 2 ans, après plus de 2 ans maintenant, depuis le 9 septembre 2019 très exactement, elle compte 2 titres majeurs, à Roland-Garros en 2019 et Wimbledon en 2021. Pourtant, elle court toujours, je le disais, après un premier titre devant son public en Australie, elle qui est l'une des athlètes les plus populaires dans son pays. L'an dernier, en 2021, elle avait été éliminée en quart de finale à Melbourne.
Je ne savais pas que vous consultiez les parieurs quand vous nous parlez de sport, mais bon, il semble que c'est le cas. À moins de 10 fonds, des athlètes
The midweek roundtable, Catherine Swift, former head of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, currently spokesperson for Working Canadians and FOTSI.
That's part of a new music.
And for folks over 65, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization recommends the high-dose version. The flu vaccine also helps reduce the spread of flu to others, your loved ones, and the community, some of whom are at a great risk of serious complications. The more people who get the flu vaccine in your community, the less risk to everyone when it comes to getting influenza. Learn more by going to carp.ca/influenza.
Your commute seems faster with the music of the Masters on the new Classical 96.3 FM.
Say 2300. Doesn't say what it is.
From the timeless recording, Rhea Beaumont, the pianist, with the music of Canada's Stroll Irving Glick, and marking 20 years since we lost that incredible composer here in 2022. His 6 preludes, number 6, the Andante, and you're with the Oasis here on the new Classical FM. My name is Mark Wigmore, 452. Great to have you along, and we've got a full news update coming up very shortly with Bob Komsic, but this is the number 1 album on the new Classical FM Top 20 chart, Happy Together, from Andre Rieu and his Johann Strauss Orchestra. Put together last summer. The orchestra hadn't been together for a very long time, and so able to see each other. The lockdowns had eased, and all the big tours, the big stadium tours all around the world had been canceled, so this was a chance to get together and record something. And it's been number 1 for some weeks now here on the chart. I don't know, we've got some real contenders that might move it down the line, but right now, this is Maastricht, the city of jolly singers.
get to the construction attire. We'll get to that. Who's Sasha? Sasha. Oh, that's where those lines come from. Okay, I get it.
harpist Erica Goodman in concert, putting a little spring in our step here at 4:58 on a Wednesday. A touch of rumba here on the Oasis, the new classical FM. After your 5 p.m. news, Montreal pianist Alexander Strelitzky starting off the next hour, and Christian Zimmerman performs Chopin's second piano concerto. We'll get to that, but right now a check on the commute.
We are still looking at problems on the northbound Don Valley Parkway. The off-ramp to the eastbound 401 Express, that's just dealing with a stall in the right lane. Delays, unfortunately, are pretty heavy from Dundas. Now, we just had issues clear on the eastbound 401. In the Express at Weston, we had a crash in the right lane. That has just cleared away, so it is still slow, but hopefully the volume will ease soon. In town, heads up southbound Royal York is blocked south of Dundas for a crash, and Steeles is closed both ways, from Weston to Old Weston for a crash as well. A message from Canadian Blood Services. There's an immediate need for blood. Over 1,500 open appointments in Toronto to fill this month. Book now at blood.ca.
If I did that, I'd find out what's wrong. I should do that. I should just go in and fucking let them tell me, hey, you can't donate blood, but you should get on our frequent flyer system
Call
here.
the Desmond Brown team at Remax Hallmark and right-size your life. 416-568-1242.
5 o'clock, your news update now, and it's Bob Comsick.
Mark, thank you. Flurries at times heavy for Toronto as well as Cobourg this evening. Now, Toronto could be looking at 2 to 4 centimeters, possibly. Cobourg, maybe upwards of 5. Clearing in Collingwood, however, for this evening. Currently, it's -9, and with the winds, feels more like -14. Breaking news, as Ukraine can expect more help from this country. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau with the announcement a short time ago after a 3-day cabinet retreat.
I've authorized the extension of Operation Unifier for 3 more years, and the expansion of this training mission as well as immediate support.
UNYFY, there we go. UNYFY.
As part of it, I've authorized the Canadian Armed Forces to deploy 60 personnel within days to join the approximately 200 women and men already on the ground, with further capacity to increase the number of people.
We get it. You're a feminist. We get it. You really overdo it sometimes. I think you're virtue signaling.
Provision of non-lethal equipment, intelligence sharing, and support to combat cyber attacks.
And this support is in addition to the loan of up to $120 million for Ukraine. Ottawa announced only last week.
What happened to the other million?
Ontario reporting 608 are in hospital ICUs with COVID. There are just over 4,000 hospitalized with the virus. There are 92 more deaths. All but 3 happened over the past 3 weeks, and the other 3 over a month ago. Loss in the last election. Former Alberta MP James Cumming is set to present the findings from his review to caucus members as well as National Council tomorrow. Caucus will be briefed on the contents of the review, including its key findings, and we'll have an opportunity to ask questions of Cumming. Part of the presentation will also focus on Aaron O'Toole's performance during the campaign, something those concerned about his leadership are eager to have a look at. The party wouldn't specify if caucus will be shown the review in its entirety, though, with a spokesperson saying only O'Toole has committed to elected members receiving a briefing, unlike campaign reviews of the past. Heading into the meeting today, Tory MP Marilyn Gladu says, as somebody who appreciates details, she'd been looking to the opportunity to have a chance to see the entire review, but is only expecting she'll be seeing a summary. Governor of the Bank of Canada warning Canadians expect higher interest rates in the coming months. Tiff Macklem says the economy has bounced back enough from COVID-related turndown and that the central bank no longer needs to keep its trend-setting interest rate at its rock-bottom level of 0.25%.
This ends our emergency policy settings and signals that interest rates will now be on a rising path. This is a significant shift in monetary policy, and we judge that it is appropriate to move forward in a deliberate series of steps.
Oh, wait, this isn't the right one.
Macklem didn't say how fast or by how much the bank would raise rates.
I was going to say, token, no cash value.
Back to the Bank of Canada's target of 2%. Same story stateside.
Technically collected,
Federal
but not on
Reserve
purpose.
Board also keeping its benchmark interest rate near 0 for now, signaling, though, that it intends to start raising it as soon as March.
Like, did they say it, or they're like, you know, how did like when he starts, you know, when he takes 2 sips of his coffee instead of 1 before he starts talking, and you know he's signaling something. Like, what's the signal, bro?
13,542. Our dollar up over 1/10 of a penny, closer to 1/5 of a penny. 79.33 cents American. Oil up $1.75, 87.35 a barrel, while gold
I'm on the disabled baseball team.
22.80.
I'm not even the fucking catcher. I'm just standing next to the thing.
Classical FM weather, flurries at times heavy for Toronto this evening, 2 to 4 centimeters possibly. Cobourg can expect similar conditions, however, might receive about 5 centimeters. And strong winds are expected to cause some local blowing snow in Cobourg overnight as well. As for Collingwood, clearing this evening. Toronto and Collingwood, though, can expect overnight wind chills close to -25. Cobourg, it'll feel more like -15. Well, they sleep out that way currently. -9 feels like -14 in Toronto, -8 in Collingwood, -11 in Cobourg. I'm Bob Cosby.
I feel so much better with the better air going on in here.
On the new Classical FM.
And the food up against has been really good. I appreciate that so much. And people have been handing me like money and stuff. Go get something to eat. Go get a coffee, whatever. Can't really go wrong if you're doing something that helps do right and fear no one. And I can't remember who I'm quoting. I'm sorry. I forgot my juice. This is excellent, full of fruits and stuff. Oh, it broke.
Of the beautiful Pluto from Alexandra Strelitzky, going back to her 2018 Inscape recording, which is still on classical charts around the world. All these years later, about 4 years later, she released her first piece of Silent Night in her particular style. Very beautiful, but we're certainly hoping we might see something new from Alexandra Strelitzky in the months to come here on the Oasis 3.1 in Cobourg. My name is Mark Wigmore, 5:08 on this Wednesday evening. Great to have you along. Speaking of wonderful pianists, Vikingur Olafsson, his Debussy Rameau recording from 2020 around the corner tonight on Symphonic Soundtracks into the Movie Music Vault. Once again, Bernard Herrmann's Vertigo, and one of his many collaborations with the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, of course. We'll tell you more about that film. Traffic and weather update coming up shortly, but master pianist, so famous for performing the works of Chopin that they named a prize after him. This is the Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor. and the Larghetto. Very beautiful indeed. The Larghetto from Chopin's Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor, Opus 21. Christian Zimmerman, the celebrated pianist with the Polish Festival Orchestra. And that brings us to 5:20. It's Mark Wigmore here, the Oasis on the New Classical FM. Another great pianist, Vikingur Olafsson. He will make his way to Toronto finally after numerous postponements, and he'll make his way to the New Classical FM very shortly as well with music from his latest. And on Symphonic Soundtracks, we head to the movies once again, Vertigo in the spotlight this evening. Have a look at the forecast. We've got a winter weather travel advisory in effect just for Toronto. We've got late this afternoon, early this evening, heavy band of lake effect snow expecting to move through the city and beyond before weakening this evening. Tonight in Toronto, flurries at times heavy, partly cloudy after that, slim chance of flurries up to 4 centimeters falling, gusty southwest winds, the low -14. And the wind chill -25 overnight. Cobourg also heavy flurries and windy up to 5 centimeters falling, -23 the wind chill overnight, but warming up by morning. And Collingwood, far less dramatic, partly cloudy, then clearing early tonight, low -16 wind chill, -25 as well. Cloudy tomorrow to start, then flurries by the afternoon for all of us, between 2 and 4 centimeters falling, windy again, and warmer as well. The highs around -5, -4. And Friday, we'll see sunny skies, but it will be quite cold again with temperatures, the high around -10 in Toronto and Cobourg, -16 in Collingwood. We are at -9 right now in the city, -13 in Cobourg, -8 in Collingwood. And here's Alexis.
We're dealing with problems on the northbound Don Valley Parkway. News on the westbound 401 past Guelph Line. We had a crash in town. Southbound Royal York is blocked past Dundas for a crash. And you're going to find Steeles closed both ways from Weston to Old Weston for a crash as well. Did you know Good Food now delivers groceries in minutes? Stay home and let us deliver your groceries, everyday essentials, and more today. Visit makegoodfood.ca. I'm Alexis Viger with traffic on the New Classical FM.
Life is complicated. Wills are complicated. Estate planning, probate, and estate litigation, all complicated. Selecting the right law firm? Straightforward. Go for experience every time. Choose the top-rated estate lawyers in the Rogerson Law Group. More than 40 years of expertise and trust has earned Rogerson Law Group in downtown Toronto and the other in Barrie. Go to rogersonlaw.com. That was easy.
A splash of color, an irresistible texture, or the finishing touch. It's amazing what the perfect rug can do for your home, and you'll find it at Area Rug Shop. Explore a massive selection of thoughtfully created rugs, including boho, modern, and vintage, designed in-house for your house. Whatever size, shape, style, and color is here for you. Area Rug Shop with showrooms in Barrie, Newmarket, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and now open in Kitchener. Visit arearugshop.ca for more info.
Live life on your terms, independent and safe with Red Dot Personal Alert Solutions. At home or on the go, Red Dot provides peace of mind, knowing that help is only seconds away if you ever need it. Developed by seniors and proudly partnered with Bruyere Continuing Care, Red Dot's two-way voice communication system has you covered 24/7. No contracts, no cancellation fees, no landline required. Learn more and get connected at reddotalerts.ca.
Cynthia Finley's collection of vintage and estate jewelry has stories of everlasting love. Showcased at Toronto Antiques on King, Cynthia Finley's collection is world-class. Rings, earrings, bracelets, and pendants chosen for the one-of-a-kind women in your life. Remind you of anyone? Cherish her now and forever with a vintage Valentine's gift from Toronto Antiques on King. 284 King Street West, beside the Princess of Wales Theatre. Open every day except Monday.
Did you know that Natural Calm Ionic Magnesium is the #1 selling product out of 7,500 natural health products in the U.S.? Natural Calm helps with sleep, muscle pain, migraines, and heart health, and it is highly absorbable, better tasting, and the most loved form of magnesium on the market. Get yours today where natural health products are sold, or go to naturalcalm.ca for information and a free sample. Natural Calm. Profits go to Thrive, formerly Organics for Orphans.
Picture this. Everything you want to sell gone in 2 weeks, and not a single garage sale. That's the beauty of using MaxSold. They convert all your home's contents into cash, whether you're downsizing, relocating, or handling an estate. MaxSold will catalog everything. Antiques, jewelry, furniture, and auction it online for cash. Keep what matters and sell the rest in one easy step. Call Maxhold 800-960-2244.
Here is Libby Znaimer with the Zoomer Report, the Boomer's Guide to Living Well.
Here's an important finding about the importance of University Medical Center in Jerusalem, found that for older people, getting out of the house regularly may contribute to a longer life. They asked people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s how often they left the house, and found that those who ventured out frequently were most likely to live to the next age milestone, regardless of medical problems or mobility issues. The work, published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, compared the benefits to treating blood pressure or cholesterol with medicine. At all ages, people who left home less frequently tended to be male, less educated, and to have higher rates of loneliness, financial difficulties, and poor health. The scientists now plan to study the role that optimism, social engagement, and environmental aspects such as community sidewalks play in longer life. With your tips for living well, I'm Libby Znaimer with the Zoomer Report.
Wake up with the new Classical FM and Classical Mornings with Mike and Jean, the ideal FM in the AM.
The cartoony sounds of William Walton is Facade Suite and the City of Birmingham Symphony. And you're with the Oasis here on the New Classical FM 534. My name is Mark Wigmore. Great to have you along here on a Wednesday evening, bottom of the clock. And once again, to the cinema. And with that theme, you know it's time for our daily feature here on the Oasis, Symphonic Soundtracks, celebrating the world of scores and compositions made famous at the movies. Today, the noir psychological thriller Vertigo, directed by the legendary Alfred Hitchcock and featuring a magnificent cast: James Stewart, Kim Novak, and Barbara Bel Geddes. The story follows former police detective John the Job. Vertigo. Unfortunately, picking up private detective work doesn't spare him from his phobia. Here's a moment from Vertigo.
If I could just find the key in the beginning and put it together.
Explain it away. There is a way to explain it, you see. If I'm mad, that would explain it, wouldn't it?
Alfred Hitchcock was a master of suspense, and many of his movies use music to express deep emotion that becomes a character in itself. Bernard Herrmann composed the score for Vertigo. He collaborated with Hitchcock 7 times, including the iconic soundtracks for North by Northwest and Psycho. But the strong-willed talents couldn't see eye to eye on the picture Torn Curtain, and that ended their partnership. For Vertigo, the pivotal action scenes use repetition and swirling harps with strings. Herrmann also digs into romantic and melancholic themes to tell the story of Scotty and Madeline's doomed love. Even without watching the movie, Vertigo is haunting and spans the emotional palette. Let's listen. It's Bernard Herrmann's score from Vertigo on Symphonic Soundtracks. incredible collaboration between Bernard Herrmann, the composer, and director Alfred Hitchcock, and giving us so many incredible soundtracks over the years. Vertigo, right there, the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, wrapping up another edition of Symphonic Soundtracks here on a Wednesday. My name is Mark Wigmore, with you until 7 p.m. We'll do it all again tomorrow night when we play you music from Terms of Endearment. More music on the way. CPE Bach by way of Mikhail Pletnev. And we need to let you know that a winter weather travel advisory now in effect for Toronto. We are looking at a heavy band of lake effect snow expected to move inland. And before weakening this evening, I'm just looking out the AccuWindow window at the lights. I'm not seeing a lot of snow here in Liberty Village just yet, but we'll keep an eye on that. Flurries at times heavy tonight in Toronto, then partly cloudy, slim chance of flurries. We'll see up to 4 centimeters falling, gusty southwest winds, and the low -14, wind chill -25 overnight. Coburg, same idea, up to 5 centimeters falling, -23 the wind chill, and Collingwood, partly cloudy tonight, then clearing, so not quite as dramatic. The low -16, wind chill -25 overnight, and we'll start with cloudy skies tomorrow before the snow returns in the afternoon. 5:42.
This is just off to the right shoulder, so not blocking a live lane, but definitely a visual distraction as you travel that way. In town, we still have a closure southbound Royal York. All lanes blocked past Dundas for a crash, and you're going to find Steeles is closed both ways from Weston to Old Weston for a crash as well. Drive into your local Mr. Lube for convenient stay-in-your-car services. Proudly Canadian since 1976, Mr. Lube open every day, no appointment needed. I'm Alexis Feiger with traffic on the new Classical FM.
Are your parents or a loved one thinking of downsizing and making a move? Call the Desmond Brown team at RE/MAX Hallmark Realty and help them right-size their life. 416-568-1242.
The new Classical FM is an official radio sponsor of Canada's most lavish Chinese New Year charity gala, the 33rd annual Dragon Ball, happening through for geriatric care, as well the construction of 3 new long-term care homes. Celebrate the Year of the Tiger and enjoy a fantastic evening of fine takeout cuisine and spectacular yihongdragonball.org or call 416-321-0777.
Classical Mornings with Mike and Jean, the perfect way to start your day.
It's Mozart's birthday tomorrow. As you can imagine, we'll be playing lots of his music. And rest assured, the big piece of the morning at 9:20 is going to be a big chunk to add to the celebration. I'm Mike Duncan.
And I'm Jean Stillwell. The quiz of the Bumblebees at 7:45. We assemble 10 rapid-fire skill testing questions in 1 minute. Give us a call and have some fun, whether you're a solo act or joining a member of your family, bragging rights and mental exercise abound.
Plus, Jeremy and Lisa cover all the latest news, weather, and traffic. And we've got a big ski chalet full of your beautiful classical favorites.
That's Classical
so we got about 15 minutes to check out the
weekdays at 6 a.m. on the new Classical FM, the nation's
to load up the
classical
Beijing
station.
hour. I think we'll do that.
Safety and independence is within reach with the Connect Care Medical Alert button. Their trusted, hospital-owned and operated devices make independent living safer for you or those you.
This is H's Fish and Chips, voted Muskoka's best fish and chip shop 5 years running. Welcome back to Muskoka and to the Wata Station. Come see us on Muskoka Road 38, just off Highway 400, and visit us on the web at thewatastation.com.
I'm Wolfgang Klein, Portfolio Manager with Canaccord Genuity Wealth Management.
OK, j'arrive du centre commercial, les promenades Saint-Bruno, il n'y avait pas grand monde aujourd'hui. Alors, c'est la période morte en ce moment-là. L'après-Noël, et puis là, en plus, avec la pandémie, c'est vraiment la période morte en ce moment. Hein. Donc, pour faire bouger le client, on fait des soldes. Et puis, ça date même pas d'hier, ça date de très, très, très longtemps. Ça a fait toujours exister. Okay? Hein, on a des grandes périodes de soldes auxquelles on donne des noms. Hein? Le Black Friday, le Cyber Monday, le Boxing Day. Ça, c'est des grands soldes de la période des fêtes auxquels on a donné un nom. Mais au-delà de ça, il y a toutes sortes de soldes qu'on a 52 semaines par année. À l'avant France-Canada, constamment des soldes. Et pour le client, c'est difficile de s'y retrouver.
Ouais.
Parce que on ne parle pas toujours du même produit. Okay? Alors, pour qu'un client puisse savoir si un article est vraiment soldé ou pas, premièrement, il va falloir qu'il fasse, comme les Français disent, du shopping ou du magasinage, comme on dit ici au Québec. Et là, il voit les différentes marques, il voit les différents modèles, il voit les prix, il connaît tout ça par cœur. Okay? Et quand je parle de différents modèles, on parle dans l'article que m'a envoyé la réalisatrice, je ne mentionnerai pas le distributeur, mais on parle mais la poêle à frire en question, là, okay, elle peut se décliner en plusieurs sous-modèles. Hein? On peut même jouer avec l'épaisseur de la poêle à frire. Et on peut jouer avec le matériau qui constitue la poignée. On peut jouer avec de comparer. OK? Alors, est-ce que, quand on dit dans l'article, la poêle à frire se vend 5 $ de moins chez le fabricant, alors que se vend 5 $ de plus en super solde chez le distributeur? Oui, mais est-ce le même produit? Et ça, je ne peux pas en être certain parce que j'ai pas vu les deux. Le prix est d'être très au fait de tous les modèles qui peuvent exister. Quand on tombe en technologie, c'est encore pire. Et maintenant, ben, le consommateur a un outil à sa disposition, son téléphone intelligent, et ça s'est vu et ça se voit fréquemment des gens qui font des comparaisons avec leur téléphone en magasin. Ils voient un produit, puis là, ils cherchent sur Internet, puis ils comparent avec d'autres. Ça, c'est une façon intelligente. Okay? Sans doute que ça déplaît beaucoup aux marchands, mais que voulez-vous? Il faut que le consommateur se renseigne, et préférablement qu'il le fasse sur une longue période et pas simplement la même journée.
Êtes-vous d'avis que les faux rabais, c'est une pratique répandue dans les magasins?
Je ne dirais pas que c'est une pratique répandue au sens où on voit ça là, couramment, constamment dans tous les magasins, mais ça c'est vu. Et au Québec, en tout cas, je sais qu'il y a déjà eu des poursuites contre un marchand, puis ces poursuites-là ont été gagnées parce que le marchand disait que c'était un produit en solde, puis ça a été démontré que ce produit-là s'était déjà vendu moins cher à prix courant. Okay? Alors, on ne peut pas jouer impunément comme ça avec les prix, et surtout quand on est un manufacturier, ça c'est une chose importante, ou un détaillant. Okay? On peut avoir un prix de détail suggéré, oui. Mais le détaillant peut bien le vendre au prix qu'il voudra. Il peut même le vendre sous son prix coûtant. S'il veut attirer les gens, il peut le vendre moins cher que ce qu'il ne paye. S'il veut attirer des gens en magasin, puis leur vendre autre chose. OK? Alors, personne ne peut imposer un...
Où est-elle le plus élevé?
Quand on fait des achats impulsifs, quelque chose, on dit, ah, tiens, ça n'a pas l'air cher, ça. Ah, puis je vais en acheter une. Et le pire, ben, c'est sur les petits objets, là. OK? Les choses pas tellement chères. Donc, à 25 $ pour certaines personnes, c'est peut-être cher. Pour d'autres, ben, c'est insignifiant. OK? Et je ne sais pas si vous avez remarqué, mais dans certains magasins, on vous fait circuler dans une sorte de couloir avant d'arriver aux caisses. Toutes les caisses sont au même endroit, puis on vous fait mettre en ligne à 2 mètres, évidemment, à cause de la pandémie. Et puis, de chaque côté de cette petite allée, il y a toutes sortes de produits. Mm-hmm. OK? Là, on compte sur l'achat impulsif. Et les produits qui sont là sont peut-être beaucoup plus chers que si vous aviez été ailleurs dans le magasin. On ne mettra pas les produits les moins chers. Là.
Ouais, les meilleurs.
Et donc, ben, c'est ça. Alors, acheter de façon impulsive, dans ce moment-là, non. Premièrement, ça amène à la surconsommation, puis deuxièmement, vous risquez de payer trop cher.
Merci beaucoup d'avoir pris le temps de répondre à nos questions.
Ben, merci de m'avoir téléphoné.
Bonne fin de journée.
Bonne journée.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Mon invité, Benoît Duguay, professeur à l'École des sciences de la gestion et spécialiste de la concession McDonald's Dupuis.
Bonjour, ici Natacha McDonald-Dupuis. Alors que plusieurs lieux publics se préparent à rouvrir lundi en Ontario, le gouvernement n'a toujours pas annoncé la reprise des chirurgies non urgentes dans la province. C'est une annonce qui se fait attendre non seulement à Queen's Park, mais également par certains experts du milieu hospitalier. Le reportage d'Anne-Marie Trippz. Plusieurs économistes soulignent que certaines banques ont déjà commencé à augmenter leurs taux hypothécaires de façon anticipée.
Même si les taux d'intérêt n'ont pas augmenté, les banques s'attendent à qui elles prêtent l'argent et comment. Donc, par exemple, sur les dossiers d'application, plus attention qu'avant, par exemple. On voit que sur le marché, c'était extrêmement occupé.
You keep paying for your voodoo spells.
Le marché peut-être ralentisse un petit peu et se calme un petit peu.
Keep paying for the voodoo, quote-unquote voodoo. You mispronounce the fucking word. You're paying with American dollars to niggas who don't even speak a language. You think they're practicing magic? Are you fucking retarded? I'm gonna eat the food anyway. I don't give a fuck. Because I'm not allowed to have that. I eat it anyway. I don't give a fuck. Thanks for the food company. Please, I need more things to move that I'm not touching. Weird fucking grabbing sensations of my clothes 24/7. Keep it up. I just discovered those chicken nuggets are not actually food. It's fucking injection molded fucking plastic or something. I don't know what the fuck it is.
The 2019 recording Marie from violinist Marie Samuelson and the Berlin Chamber Orchestra and the music of Brian Eno is Emerald and Stone alongside John Hopkins.
Well, you knew the music was going to end. I was lighting the joint. Of course it's going to end. Oh, I've been delayed all fucking day. Every day I got idiots trying to delay me. Here we go. Data. You are fucking retarded. You're fucking stupid. You're not intelligent. You think you're very highly intelligent. Like all sex offenders think they're highly intelligent. And on average, they're below intelligent. Yes, jam it up to the point where somehow only the software Google makes keeps crashing and destroying itself. Well, you need to update it. That's what you said the last 4 times, and that didn't work. That's why I rolled it back. Oh, for fuck's sake. You've got to be fucking kidding me. So the Beijing hour is on right now. You might as well go listen to it because they're not... I pay for it, so it's not mine. The Toronto police take that personally. Anything I pay for, I'm told over and over, belongs to them. Every fucking white person does this to me, too. So I'm at the place the other day. I've got my sunglasses in my hand because I just put my mask on because your breath will fog up the sunglasses. And apparently I dropped them in my knapsack. I said, hey, you guys were orange. Yeah, they were. Okay, because you idiots watch these videos and then this idiot's never seen them. He doesn't know what my sunglasses look like, except he saw me walk up wearing them, leave wearing them. All of a sudden, they're his. Okay, this guy's done this about 6 times with different things. These are the people you said, they're such good people.
He has authorized the Canadian Armed Forces to deploy 60 personnel to join 200 troops already on the ground.
To do what?
With further capacity provision of non-lethal equipment, intelligence sharing.
They don't have a plane that holds as little as 60 people. They're literally sending half a plane load of people.
development and humanitarian aid. And that's in addition.
We're going to send 5 containers of toys to Lebanon to deal with the explosion.
By Ottawa last week.
They won't send them real shovels and 5-gallon buckets. They sent them toy shovels and toy buckets. The kids really need toys to play with when they're standing knee-deep in shit, starving to death.
Governor,
not news, not news. Oh, where am I going? Not news.
Approaching Mississauga Road, and then west of Kelso Conservation out to west of Guelph Line.
Now, if I switch over to the other Wi-Fi, watch what happens. This will crash, that'll crash. It's one thing after a fucking another here. It's all bullshit. I'm not connected, obviously. Podcasts and shit, they still seem to think stopping me from doing these live streams is going to have an effect on something. I don't give a fuck. I don't want you to watch this. I want you to listen to the original source. I'm not connected.
Finch to the East 401 rip and from the 401 down to York Mills. Good news, that issue northbound on the Allen approaching Glencairn, that has just cleared. Don Valley North Toyota
Cairn.
state-of-the-art
Glencairn, you fucking whore.
automotive experience. Visit the showroom or online anytime at DonValleyNorthToyota.com. Now with a look at your forecast, here's Denise Andriacci. We still have these weather advisories through Toronto and east through
going down to minus 20 or some shit. Or it's not, or it is, or it's not, because these people can't fucking agree on shit.
When it was time for her to go to home,
I can't hear shit.
And said she doesn't have her booster. When is she going to?
Can expect overnight wind chills around minus 25. In Cobourg, it'll feel more like minus 15 after midnight. Currently, minus 9 feels like minus 13 in Toronto, minus 8.
I started 14 minutes ago pulling up this link.
I'm Bob Kopsick for Chris.
No, they're chink call me fucks. Let's speak French.
Here on the new Classical FM.
Cham. What is this?
Brought to you by Yamaha.
Does not require incoming residents to be vaccinated. Neither does the province. And one other point, come Friday, anybody who works or...
Remember, all that's what's that a year and a half ago. They're up in arms. They wouldn't let anybody else into the homes to do anything. Somehow the Canadian Forces is traumatized by all the horrible things they saw. Why did you leave? If it was that bad, why did you leave? There's only...
Well, Jenna, weather advisory still in place for Toronto and also Pickering.
You wouldn't believe how close I am to these transmitters. What's the problem? The fucking...
keeps coming on shore.
This live with more Phil.
Scott, Dr. Adam Kassam, the president of the Ontario Medical Association, says the pandemic has created a backlog of nearly 20 million.
For a knee operation, so for a total replacement of the knee is on the order of 30 months. It's about 14 months for a hip replacement. It's 20-some odd months for cataract surgeries. And so this backlog is now stretched into years, and it's going to require not only our immediate but our continued attention as we think about the future.
Opposition leader Andrew Horvath is calling on the government to restart scheduled surgeries and give hospitals the staff and money they need to do them.
So while I'm at it, please let me ask for more money again.
Waiting for orders should Russia choose military aggression across the Ukraine border. Reporting live, Stephen Lee, City News.
Like they did 7 years. They're on their land for 7 years. You're still pretending this didn't happen.
Do you wish you had a larger home with more living space?
No.
Finishing your basement is the solution.
Finishing your basement is a sign of completely giving up. You should not be living in these fucking wooden, moldy fire traps.
Once more. But on the other hand, they've also made it very clear that they need to defend their homeland.
The question of whether kind of...
Yes, you presented it again, like the Ukrainians feel bad about defending themselves.
Is one that is right now a little bit contentious. My personal feeling is that there's kind of a shoot to that, should join the United States.
That's why the Black Panther Party said, no, we don't need no white people's help, because you're constantly apologizing on our behalf. Don't you understand why these niggers are so angry? We're not angry and we're not niggers. Bye, goof. Thank you for fucking off.
Their role will include evacuating Canadians if need be. Mark?
A lot of Canadians want
How to revitalize this noise barrier wall along Williams Parkway. Its industrial blue and gray geometric design, which stretches for more than 5 kilometers,
has become an eyesore for many.
It was always an eyesore. It's a fucking sound barrier.
Of this wall.
You know what these people do? They cut down trees that are 50 years old to put up a piece of glass, and they can't figure out why it gets louder.
Entirely and featuring public art. 31% of respondents voted for that last option, and any makeover is projected to cost an extra $300,000. The funding has already been approved by council.
I think we can improve it by putting different kind of arts in it, and not only the same one. There's stripes. We can have different arts representing different parts of Canada with colorful from east to west.
They can color it or change the color, but another thing that I had told them is like this, like I said to you, this wall on my side here was really great before because it was a beautiful fence with all those hedges, and it's not making that much noise. Today, council voted unanimously.
Yeah, because trees naturally block the noise. When you cut down the trees, and you put a big piece of glass, it resonates. They literally use the stiffest glass possible. It's tempered, so it's going to vibrate them all.
He's already gained worldwide.
I really don't want to hear that.
Don Mills to York
I don't
Mills.
want to hear this either. I'm getting. Oh dear.
Something like that.
So I don't know why I'm not allowed to access my own internet connection. I'm slightly confused here because we're online. I'll like the joint. I'll chill out. I will. Everywhere I go, I run into dickheads, and then weird fucking shit happens. I knew this would be delicious. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. This is gonna be so good. That'll be good, I swear. Please keep pinging the router. Rescued, recycled veggies. What the fuck just happened? Holy fuck, please set my fucking house on fire. Holy shit, man. It's possible CRI is just overloaded because it's right at 7 in the morning. It's possible that's all that's happening. Please keep pinging the router. Keep pinging the router.
Overnight. Cloudy with flurries tomorrow afternoon, another 2 to 4 centimeters depending on where you are. Windy again from Italian composer Ludovico Einaudi. Right now, a check on the commute. Here's Alexis.
We are still looking at problems on the westbound 401. In the express at Islington, we do have a stall, and that's blocking the right lane. Now, eastbound on the 401, had problems in the collectors at West.
A love song about softening a calloused heart, experiencing the edge of magnetic desire.
The reason I don't try hard is because everything breaks as soon as I get it working. So. That'll fall
We make them feel special. We make them feel that we appreciate.
There's a shitload of old people out there right now that need money.
With symmetrical full-time.
I'm sorry, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm so sorry.
And skate all the rigs while the coolest time of the year is still here.
All right, we're not a half hour late for the Beijing hour. We're a half hour early for On Point or whatever. I know she's going to have some criticism of the Prime Minister. I'm just going to love. I'm going to love it. fucking radio station I find on the internet out there that I can tune into, or even the ones, the terrestrial ones, somehow, as soon as we start tuning in on a regular, nope, can't do it no more.
Trail, winter casts away.
Fuck, where were we?
I'm alone.
Damn it.
Y volvemos a
So every time I say what I intend to try to talk about or pull up next, then there's problems trying to pull it up as soon as I do.
Toby's bells across the meadow, and as
but I'm not paranoid enough to do.
Sound led by
I know they're out. I wouldn't tell you first. I would just do like I'm gonna smoke another joint. Because technically, I rolled that before I left.
Bottom of the clock.
This morning, I was able to leave the house without having to smoke a joint.
For the beautiful moment.
And this time too. So I'm 2 joints ahead of the game.
This time, resting in the
I
arms.
smoke 2 back to back right now, side by side right now.
A gorgeous piece, usually by request.
What's he got? A Glock or a 1911? I'm sorry.
Tomorrow, in fact. And if you have an idea, please do share. Oasis@classicalfm.ca. That's the email address. Oasis@classicalfm.ca. Wednesday night, we reserve for our Talk of the Town album, which is a brand new album, something that's just come out, and we're very excited to be profiling the music of Ludovico Einaudi this week. He is back. He's been very busy just over the last couple of years, put together music for the Father,
size comparison.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Surgeon General says he's a killer, he's right.
He recorded an album on his iPhone last year. My goodness. So this is an album titled Underwater. It is his first major solo work in decades.
This better be good.
And a lot of
please don't make me feel like an idiot for sitting through it. I want this.
A very quiet record all the same, despite that buzz. So he's put it together over the lockdowns, of course, and he'll be in Vancouver as well. So Underwater, our Talk of the Town album this week from Ludovico Einaudi. It's also our beautiful moment. And this is a piece that really struck me. It is titled Almost June.
It smells like mowing like grass, like not grass, but grass. Like never mind. It smells like somebody just cut. I just did here. It is my fault this time. If it cuts out this time, I'm fucking not gonna be gone maybe 30 minutes. I knew it would take 45 to get this started minimum. It's okay. It's no big deal. I'm spilling water on my fuck. Dirty water, thank you.
Who have been there for each other, who know.
Such as truck drivers.
Science and stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue.
So people that don't mix with anybody must be vaccinated. So all the people that mix with people and refuse to stop, you don't like the fact they can learn from a computer. You're going to keep saying they can't.
The vaccines are the ticket out, and yet here we are 2 years in, and we're no better off than we were in 2020, despite being more protected than any other time.
Remember, every expert she had on those last 2 days has refuted everything she said, basically.
We're all in this together.
Seemed like to me.
But that, they don't seem to ever notice that the small businesses in the private sector have paid the greatest price.
This is delicious. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll gladly drink the expired ones.
Without thought of the divisions that it's causing and the fear that it stokes. And so anyone wondering why are all these thousands of trucks rolling across this country should really look no further than two titles, all of them.
Okay, so are you on their side now or not? Because you were acting like you weren't yesterday.
That's because for 2 years, too much politics has been played to deflect from government failures. And politicians would use this crisis to further
25
their
months we've been at
cause
this.
of the greater good. And they fail to continually understand this anger and this frustration and the exhaustion and, yes, the mental health suffering. Shots and pot shots at the convoy. I think, Trudeau and all the rest of them.
Don't be taking no pot shots at trucks on the road, man. They're dangerous.
And maybe realize that a lot of people are at a breaking point. So what we need is some measured leadership instead of pouring gas on what could turn into a tinderbox. But coming up, when you get a protest this big, and it's a big one, the risk to them is that those with their own agenda will hijack the cause.
Yeah, like you keep saying, they said they're going to use anything.
And organizers are trying to push back against rhetoric from those who are stupidly calling for things like violence or who are drumming up.
See, they won't take responsibility for making that up. They're going to call those people stupid. Okay, they're stupid, but you lied when you said it was the truck driver saying it.
And these convoys got a very big endorsement from one of the Trippz on Tuesday. So we'll talk about how these organizers are trying to keep the focus on the original intent of this convoy, and if they can, because it will only take one or two more.
On stage, he was surrounded by music creators. On the week of his birthday, we take a peek at who those composers were, from whom young Mozart learned his moves and made them better. That's a little night music, the perfect soundtrack to your evening, handpicked with expert.
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $11 million, just having a ticket feels between and...
Hey boys, stop playing.
Es que uno de cada
Let's celebrate free wedding season. ढूंढता हूँ मेरे दिल में गवारा जिसके लिए लगे दिल की सारी मैंने खींच दी वेडिंग है यार की तो कम बारी में धीरे गो ऑन झूठे छुपाएगा जो भी छुपाएगा वो शिद्दत खाएगा ऊपर माहौल बनाना है बुआ सिफर की को भी नचाना है ये है तो दूर तक जाएगी हेटने वाले की शामत आएगी हो
You come tow your truck and the truck driver making money off that, eh? Yeah. So they're shelling money into the system without getting it back out again. Fuck that.
Will only, I think, further polarize this movement, which is not an anti-vax protest. I believe the government should force anybody to do it. But
And you have
one of the big, challenges when you get a big protest like this is it faces the risk of being taken over by those who have.
No, it doesn't. Again, another false narrative. These people kind of almost took over your protest. No, they didn't. We still don't know who you're talking about. You made it up.
We've got fringe elements calling for silly things like a Capitol Hill style get out of hand and distract from the bigger issue. Tim Codir is a volunteer with the
Don't even need to know.
Watching what's going on from this vantage point. But I think there are a lot of there's a lot of confusion about this because this started as one cause. It has
2 days to tell us some group of people said shit that you can't provide any source information on.
Anyway, the problem that I see is that
You volunteered.
take with it for their own bodies. If someone else wants to choose for their own body to do something, that's up to them.
And so at this rate, it's online rhetoric is
source.
It only takes one blowhard to cause a lot of trouble, and there will be those in the crowd.
You hear the threats they're making. It only takes one of us to cause you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we understand that, but that's beyond the realm of what we are. We can only do what we can do and be responsible for what we want to put forward. What some radical faction wants to do, and that, for whatever reasons, is beyond what we have in mind. It's got nothing to do with our agenda. All we want is peace, our jobs back. We get to make our own decisions and sensible decisions on the government side that we've done for decades before, and to resume some sense of normality. That's all we're really asking. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I was watching live feed from Medicine Hat last night, and as far as you could see with the eye, there were rows and rows of people, banners, flags, waving were running through.
There have been concerns about the GoFundMe. I mean, it raised an enormous amount of money.
Yeah, you had a concern.
Was, I think the initial target. It is still coming in. I think the account has been held because of concerns of where the money is going.
She's repeated that again. Now, yesterday's refuted in two different ways. No, there always is.
Taking place but they're prepared. It's all legal. It's the people's money. At the end of the day, if the heavy hand of government strips the Canadians of their right to support a cause, I think it speaks more about them than it does for our movement. We want peace. That would, to me, would be an act of aggression. But I'm not going to. I'm not there. We don't know those details. I'm just saying, if that were the case, it doesn't have a very good smell to it.
When you guys arrived in farmers, they've been bringing to the nation's capital, all those people in there and all those vehicles, has that all been sorted out?
You know what? This is far bigger than anyone anticipated, and it's going to be what it is. And we're hoping it's big enough that the government says, listen, we have to draw some degree of people, some degree of confidence that pressing forward, we're going to use some sensibility instead of the heavy hand.
What is the greatest misunderstanding right now out there? What is one of the narratives that you're listening? On the other side of this break, we'll get you news. It's Wednesday. This is On Point. You know you can.
So the money's getting held. The process, I know if you're not legit, they give the money back to the donors, don't they? Jesus Christ. This woman makes shit up as she goes, nonstop. Oh dear, what I gotta change this bootlace because it's falling apart. So you know, that's the sign. I'm not sure, but is that wheat? Like, what is that? There's a guy who's been hypnotized, I guess. I'm looking in the mirror, that's why. Man, I don't even want to smoke Trump. I think we should smoke it and
The central banks hold the line on interest rates. Tesla reports better than forecasted. It's business at 26.
6 News Time, 7:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones with their eyes on your drive. Coming down here, that could include a strike.
Remember, the 2019-2020 school year was fucked because all four schools.
To families, the school board says and they say they're open to meeting.
Nobody else got 2%. Nobody else is getting.
Teachers have been tough on their kids. Hearing that news is the news that we want to hear because our kids just started, and hearing about that news is just really heartbreaking.
MPs meeting for a 2-day retreat say they don't expect to be shown the entire review into the party's election loss. Former Alberta MP James Cumming is set to present the findings from his review to caucus members and National Council tomorrow. Caucus will be briefed to ask questions of Cumming. Part of the presentation will also focus on Aaron O'Toole's performance during the campaign, something those concerned about his leadership are eager to see. The party wouldn't specify if caucus will be shown the review in its entirety.
Public swim and skating drop-in programs will restart. Community and seniors center drop-in provincial regulations, including capacity limits, mask wearing, and proof of vaccination, will be in effect. While he asked for it and he got his wish, rocker and Toronto native Neil Young has had his music.
Toronto -8 in Collingwood, -13 in Cobourg. I'm Bob Komsic for Christine Ross. You're listening to the New Classical FM.
News radio through our website or the Radio Player Canada app.
We're always on duty.
We will get talking right.
We've got a vortex of smoke going in. It's beautiful. Why am I getting zero internet capacity here, no matter what I do?
C'est vraiment un point important parce que lorsque où la plupart des habitants ont l'habitude de jouer au ballon ou de traverser la route assez facilement, mais là, la sécurité, elle pourrait être remise en question.
Comment est-ce qu'on a des
villages en France, le maire de Lieusaint, qui est au sud de Paris, si je me souviens bien, qui a installé un feu de signalisation improbable à la sortie de la ville, finalement, et a utilisé aussi des rues à sens unique qu'il a déclarées pour modifier l'algorithme de Waze, puis donc dissuader les gens. Waze est basé sur ce que les utilisateurs rapportent comme accident, radar ou la police qui est postée sur le côté de la route. Il y a plusieurs personnes qui se sont mis ensemble et qui se sont mis à fabriquer des faux rapports d'accident de la route pour que Waze se dise « Oh, ok, il y a un accident, je ne vais pas envoyer les gens là, je vais les envoyer
dans une autoroute. Donc ça, c'est un système qui marche plutôt bien, mais
For a minute, and this night turned to day. I've seen hearts lie away. I've seen people so wicked, the oppressed become immune. I've seen minds, crooked minds, and death when it comes too soon. See you, light up your eyes and don't live in our lives. I can see us, allies. I can see us and all I see the truth. Light up your eyes and don't lies. I can see us and all it all.
Our station and that of Vision TV.
The Prime Minister is
What if they all come
calling
through doing
trucking convoy heading to
99
Ottawa.
kilometers an
This as
hour or
police
some
prepare
shit?
for the
Like, what are
possibility
you gonna
of
do?
violence when the protest arrives in the capital.
Canada is sending more military personnel to help Ukraine defend its territory as a standoff continues with Russia. Western allies hoping for a diplomatic way forward.
From postponed hip replacements to delay created a backlog of nearly.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau authorizing that $340 million commitment to help Ukraine defend its territory.
In meaningful dialogue until a peaceful diplomatic solution is reached.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland,
Write him
calling
a
it
letter.
struggle between democracy and authoritarianism. It comes as two separate written responses have now been delivered to the Russians from the U.S. and NATO.
Dr. Adam Casson, the president of the Ontario Medical Association, says the pandemic has created a backlog of nearly 20 million patient care services, and that backlog will take years to fix.
Right now, the wait list for a knee operation is over a total replacement of the knee is on the order of 30 months.
Get options to resume non-emergent and non-urgent surgeries and procedures as soon as it's safe
Can
to
I
do
get
so.
so? Can I please get my fucking?
It happened around 12:05 Thursday morning on the Get on with your new year. Access storage.
Right, two decimal points. I know it's wrong, but to put in a cent symbol takes me 2 minutes.
With 30 years of responsible investment expertise.
If you're on the eastbound 401, the weather is slowing down your drive from White's Road and the Express out to Brock Street. It's off and on between that stretch, pretty much the heaviest points.
Il y a des dérapages, disons, qu'on préfère éviter, hein, même comme simple voyageur. On ne veut pas se heurter non plus à certaines choses qui peuvent être assez complexes aussi en ce moment pour voyager. Mais donc, si on revient à notre sujet principal, depuis 2 ans, nos choix sont
So I really don't want any to get on that screw. Although it's got a really wide head and it's got a washer, so it won't hurt it totally if it gets from this outer.
And so Trudeau keeps saying the response is diplomacy. Well, diplomacy is not working. And if Vladimir Putin knows there's no price for him to pay through either sanctions, force, or whatever, why wouldn't he invade? Way to start. When you... The talk to me just doesn't walk the walk on this. Your thoughts with you, I mean, Russia has staked its claims in the Arctic. It's a major threat to taking that from us. They've loaded in some massive amount of artillery and weapons. We don't seem to heavily armed Russian troops. Given, the lead up to this, we've got NATO, which seems very fractured. France is doing its own thing talking, you know, Germany's doing its own thing talking, Canada's just talking and not doing anything, and then you got the United States, which President Biden last week, he did a little incursion and then kind of came back and said, no, that's not what I meant, and I don't really even know where the United States stands on this.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try and interpret what Washington is thinking or doing, but I think you've laid out some very concerning observations. I think the inconsistencies across NATO are of concern. I also think that's putting right into Putin's hand. Whether he decides probably 90% of what he's about to do, which includes to Washington, I think it's a
separate. Number 2 constructions can't.
These security challenges are real, and I think they're going to get more pressing as time goes on.
And not to mention, I mean, I think there is at least enough evidence by now that China should be held to account, and it doesn't seem like there's much, There's
no fucking point unless they can plug something into it to see if it
our response to Ukraine, which is to talk tough, but basically offer up nothing, and we don't have much to offer. But they're begging for weapons. We can't send them.
Look at how they do the math. They give them 120 million, but they're going to spend 240 on whatever.
You know this area, John.
On the fringe and highlight that because that's not what the debate is all talking about.
Yeah, let me play those comments because Mr. Trudeau was asked about the convoy because it will be arriving pretty much at his doorstep in about 2 days. And
the Governor General is in his buddies.
Literally, between 30 and 50,000 trucks coming across. Joe Rogan's talking about this. It's being talked about all over the world, and we've got politicians here.
Joe Rogan's been on top of this. Canada's a communist country thing.
Accomplished absolutely nothing, and there's more.
Yeah, but that's a self-fulfilling prophecy when nobody follows the rules and go, look at that, you're right. Nobody follows the rules in any of these things.
How many people died in the Second World War? Because when you're talking about WASPs and you're talking about us, talking about the Japanese and the Germans, we'll count, and that's part of those deaths. Interesting that number is separated. Nobody denies the number of people who died in the American Revolution.
Before that, Janine Snowden with the Ramble on the Last Love Duet from Der Rosenkavalier, and that opera by Richard Strauss, that Ramble.
Mornings with Mike and Jean.
Well, look, first of all, Pete.
Me and my gang, we flow and we focused.
trees right there.
Right, especially with names like Grumpy and Steve.
All figured out.
Your first job. Welcome to the firm.
Where it's minus 14 degrees, and Markham, partly cloudy skies, and it's minus 13. And in Oshawa, it's mostly cloudy and minus 12. City News Time, 9 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news.